Well, good morning, friends. It's Crazy Cheap Chick. I'm back from the grocery store. Let me show you my little haul. But what I really want to talk about today is what we saw down in Georgia. We were gone for about 10 days down in Georgia helping with disaster relief. I want to tell you what we saw and a few products I think might help you. Since we have been gone down to Georgia for disaster relief, my refrigerator's pretty bare. And so I'm going to wipe it out and start putting this stuff away. I spent $91.60 at Dillon's this week. I'm going to show you what I got. We'll run through it real quick. Now, about half of it is full price or sale price items, and half is clearance. So I was out of bleach. I got some bleach for $1.89, 4 tomatoes for $2.74, green olives, which I need for a recipe, were $1.79. I think this rice was on sale. It was $1.99 a package. I really like this brand. Blueberries were on sale for $3.99. These grape tomatoes for $2.50. And this cheese was $3.34, which is full price, but I really wanted this type of cheese for a recipe. Now, I bought 5 containers of coffee. Coffee was on sale this week for $5.99. I have not seen it that low in a while. Even the sale price has been $6.99 for quite some time. And I've been doing a lot of reading and research on coffee prices. So after I show you all the food, at the end of the video, I am going to talk about what I think we can expect with coffee prices, and it's not good. Then, if it's in a red net bag, it's 99 cents. Now, the bag is gone, but these 3 tiny green peppers were 99 cents. And usually when I find vegetables on clearance, it's because they're undersized. So these green peppers are small. These yellow squash were a little smaller than normal. Same with this zucchini. They're just small. Then this baby broccoli was $1.49. I already opened it and ate some. Same as with this tzatziki. I had a little bit of that with lunch. It was on clearance for $2.70, but I had a coupon, so it rang up for $1.70. This cheese, which sounded kind of interesting, shallot and chive. I don't normally buy this stuff because it's so expensive. It's like $7, $8. But they had it reduced to $3.96, and I loaded a coupon onto my card, so it rang up for $2.21. As I put items into the cart, I check and see if there's any store coupons I can load to bring that price down even more. Then I found 3 little cans of red enchilada sauce for 42 cents. I think this was normally $1.19. And I went to the grocery store today because I really wanted to get that coffee, but I also wanted this chicken. I had Tyson chicken, buy one, get one free. So this was $9.88, and this one was $9.63, so whichever one is higher. And you buy one package and you get the second that's equal or lower for free. So that made it $4.94 a package. Each package is about 2 pounds. This was probably one of my best deals. The Silk Extra Creamy milk. And it was $1.20, and it does not expire until February 17th. I think we can use this in our coffee. I tasted it. It tastes like milk, only sweeter. So I think that'll probably work for coffee creamer. And then I found this Dove shampoo. It was $3. I don't know why shampoo and conditioner have gotten so outrageously high, but they have. They had this steak for $10.10. I don't know what it was normally. $15.50 looks like. So we saved about $5 there. And then this pork was marked down to $3.42. So got quite a bit, but I still need some more vegetables, and I'm headed over to Aldi's this afternoon to finish out my shopping. I spent $47.54 at Aldi's today. I wanted to get some vegetables there. I haven't been finding as many clearance vegetables at Kroger. Plus, there's a couple of things I only buy at Aldi's. So I go to Aldi's, I don't know, maybe once a month, every other month, I don't know, not a lot. But when I go, I stock up on things I know are a little bit less. Now, I bought this cauliflower at Aldi's. It was $3.39, and when I was at Dillon's, cauliflower was $3.19 and way bigger than this. But other than that, most things were less expensive. This cabbage was $1.88. This lettuce was $3.39. I think it's like $4.49 at Dillon's. Spinach is a lot cheaper, $1.49, around $1.99 at Dillon's. 3-count peppers was $2.69. I think that's usually $3.99 there, even when it goes on sale. It usually doesn't go below $2.99. Got several cans of beans, some chickpeas, 85 cents, and some black beans, which were 85 cents. And at Kroger, I think 89 cents is their regular price, so 4 cents cheaper, not a lot. Broth is a little cheaper, $1.35 per container. I can usually get it at Kroger on sale for $1.50, but this is still less expensive than the sale price. So I went ahead and got 2 broth. This is one of the things I wanted to stock up on. I love this brown gravy mix, and it's only 29 cents a package, so I got several packages of that. Pineapple is cheaper there, $1.25 for this can of pineapple. Cilantro is cheaper there, 65 cents. And last time I went, it was 79. Went ahead and got a little half and half. It was $2.79. Of course, this is way cheaper. Steak sauce, fake A1. Paid $1.99 for it. I went ahead and got 2 bottles because I don't know when I'll be back there. And you can't get anywhere near that at Dillon's. It's around $3.99. This orange sauce, I went ahead and got it for $2.19. The stuffing mix, it just sounded good, $1.49. And I noticed stovetop the last time I was at Dillon's was $1.99. Went ahead and got this Parmesan cheese. It was $2.95. I think the store brand at Kroger is $2.99, so 4 cents saved. Now, I don't even know if they sell anything like this at Kroger. I love these egg rolls. I've had them before. They're processed food, but they're not very high calorie, only 130 each. Went ahead and got some sweet corn. It was 97 cents a package. And at Kroger, I think it's normally like $1.05, but they have it on sale quite often for $1, so 3 cents saved. Baby carrots, $1.29. At Kroger, they're $1.39. But this was a lot less. This cucumber was 95 cents, and at Kroger, $1.50. And the onions were only $1.99 a package. That's probably about half what it is at Kroger. And the celery was way less expensive, 95 cents. It's $1.79 at Kroger. So I saved a little bit, but I don't live near an Aldi's, and so that's why it's not an every week thing. I only go there occasionally, and when I do, I stock up on the stuff I know that's less expensive. I'm going to show you how to make a super simple, easy dinner. This is some steak, and I just chopped it up. I've had it marinating in some Worcestershire sauce, and I am going to saute it in butter. Add up 1 chopped up onion, 1 chopped up zucchini, 1 chopped up yellow squash, and 1 chopped up bell pepper. I forgot there's a little broccoli in there too. Now we're just going to saute these as well. And throw in about half a package of cherry tomatoes. We're going to blister them. Add a little seasonal. And we're going to cook some noodles because this mixture will be poured over noodles. And we're going to add a package of this cheese. It's shallot and chive. I got it on clearance. Add just a little cream. I added a little tiny bit of butter to the noodles. We're going to put them in that tray, and then this mixture is going on top. That's what the finished product looks like. And if you want to make it fancy, I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And also sprinkle a few little Italian herbs on top. But that's really just for fanciness. Now, I said in the grocery video that I really expect coffee prices to go up, 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 up this year, and I'll tell you why. It all comes down to supply and demand. We all love coffee. I love coffee. We're not going to give it up. So demand remains high, and the 2 largest producers of coffee beans are Brazil and Vietnam. Both of those countries had really bad years. They did not produce as much coffee. They had droughts and they had flooding rains. Neither one of them produce the amount of coffee they normally do. And because of that, oftentimes if one place in the world has a bad crop, another place can make it up. This year that didn't happen. Both of the largest producers had really bad years. I'll put some links in the description to this video with some articles about it. I don't make this stuff up. And that's why coffee prices are going to remain high. And now I'm going to tell you a little bit about our trip to Georgia. We went down there to assist with disaster relief, and I know what you're thinking, what disaster, because our memories are so short. The Hurricane Helene, which occurred around September 24th. You always think that people will be up and back at it within a week or two, but it takes months to recover from a disaster of that proportion. And I didn't get to drive around a whole lot because I was working hard the entire time at my assignment. But when I did drive around, roofs are still covered with blue tarps everywhere you go, and wood is stacked up along every roadside as tall as I am, just stacks and stacks. It felt like driving down narrow lanes with wood stacked on both sides of the road. And I'll try to show you a couple of pictures of that. Since I didn't get off until after dark, I didn't get any really great pictures. Now, people were back to their jobs as fast as they could be. Sounded like within 5 to 7 days, most people were back at work. But in the immediate aftermath of the storm, it was just clearing roads. I mean, you just can't even imagine how many trees are down there. And the people, I think, were a little taken by surprise. They knew a hurricane was coming, but they've had hurricanes come through there before, and it would usually just be a ton of rain, a lot of water. This time, they had sustained winds of 80, 90 miles an hour for hours. And we get high wind here, like this summer when we had those 8 trees come down in our yard. That was about 90-mile-an-hour winds for about 10 minutes, took those trees down. One gentleman told me, yeah, we stayed up all night. We went to the interior of our house, and he said the sound was like as if you were riding on an airplane. And you know how you're hearing that sound go by the window? Shh. He said that's what it sounded like, because it was just sustained winds non-stop for hours and hours. I can't even imagine. Now, a lot of people didn't have extensive damage. If the trees missed their houses, they might have some roof damage. But, 2-3 weeks later, they thought they came out okay. And all of a sudden, they look up and they've got a roof leak. They didn't realize they had damage. So even though it's been 2.5 months since that hurricane, it's going to take them another 6 to 9 months, they estimate, to really get everything cleaned up and repaired. That's a lot of work that needs to be done there. So I heard a lot of different stories from people. One thing they mentioned over and over was how distressing it was to lose their food, because they didn't have power for days after the storm. Most people, it seemed like it was an average of 5 to 7 days, but that's enough to lose all the food in your freezer, because your refrigerator, the food in your refrigerator will stay good for about 4 hours. The food in your freezer will stay good for 24 hours if it's half full, and 48 hours if it's full. Your freezer's more efficient with more food in it. So all you can do is, if you know something is coming, like a big storm like that, is fill all your coolers with ice. And that way you can transfer some of your food into those coolers with ice and hopefully be able to save it. Before a big storm like that, make sure you charge all your electricals and have a go bag. I have a go bag. It prompted me to dig it out, and I've been going through it and taking out all the food that's been expired for 2 years. And you probably need at least 2 weeks of food. Make sure you fill your gas tank before the storm comes. So many people told stories of having to drive an hour to find a gas station with gas that was operational. Because without power, gas pumps don't work. And you can't pay with a credit card if you don't have electricity. So having a little cash, having a full gas tank, having 2 weeks of food, and having bottled water, having ice, that's about all you can do, in my opinion, to prepare for something like that. But try to think ahead. And I have started Every time I finish a gallon of milk, I'm filling it with water. I clean it out real good, rinse it out with bleach water, fill it with water. Even if it wasn't drinkable, it could still be used for washing. And that was another thing, people just didn't have the basic necessities of life. You think about living without electricity or running water. I think most of them had running water though, but think about not having electricity. That's why we've started buying some stuff. Like we bought these lanterns. I know they're small. You can see here. They're LED and they're super bright. They're chargeable. You charge them just like you do your phone, but they'll last for hours and hours. And as long as you have them all charged up before a storm, I think they're good for like 48 hours. Well, you're not running them 48 hours. Nighttime's 12 hours long, and you're going to be asleep most of it, so you might only need a couple of hours of light a night. And you could get by several days with a small lantern like that. Then we also had bought some of these small flashlights I think I told you about. We also had some little headlamps that we're putting in our go bags. I've got the Life straw, which, supposedly you can drink directly out of a creek or pond if you can suck it through this straw. And I also have tablets that will make water potable. And they're cheap. I don't know. You should at least get these. They're cheap. Those are just some ideas that I have. My biggest risk here is tornadoes, but Topeka, Kansas had a huge F5 tornado in the 60s, and we could have another one, who knows? So it's better to have some preparations in place prior to a disaster. Most of the people I talked to weren't able to work for about a week because where they worked didn't have power. Once they got the power restored, they were able to get back to work. But I would imagine grocery stores and convenience stores lost a lot of food. You never know what's going to happen in a disaster, so be as prepared as you can. I always tell you a little story if you stick around all the way to the end. And this happened to me about, 6 years ago. We were getting ready to go on a trip to St. Louis, and I was rushing around packing the car. Car was in the garage. And I had the tailgate open. It was a hot summer day. And I had been somewhere, and you know how when you pull back in your garage, the air conditioning kind of condenses? Well, some water had condensed onto the floor of the garage and trickled out from underneath the car, and I'm rushing in the house. I only had on, I think, socks. And I slipped in that water, and I fell hard, and my foot was curled back around like that. And I probably broke my toe. I don't know. I couldn't walk on my foot for a couple of weeks. I was on crutches and about tore my toenail off. Well, my foot's never been the same since that accident. Your life can just change in a second. And in a second, I slipped and fell on the garage floor, wasn't able to walk, and have never really been the same on that foot since then. It did a lot of damage to the foot. I've had one surgery on it, which helped, but I still have a lot of problems with my foot. Well, I spend my whole life trying to find shoes that don't hurt my foot. I already have big feet, wide feet, and most shoes just don't fit that well. Well, I got contacted by this company. I get contacted all the time. Since I have a YouTube channel, I have enough subscribers now that on a fairly regular basis, someone's contacting me wanting me to do a video on their product. We'll give you this product free if you'll mention it on your video. And usually it's some cheap thing I don't want. I've got everything I want. There's nothing I need. I don't need to add to my belongings. I have plenty of belongings. And so it's usually stuff I just don't want. Well, this time I got contacted by a company and I was kind of intrigued. And the company was called Fitville, and they're a company that makes shoes for wider feet. And at first I'm like, I don't know. And I got talking to the person who was contacting me, and I'm like, I don't know. I don't, want my channel to become about me selling stuff. I've been a salesman most of my life, and I'm done with it. And we talked more and more because I have the demographics they want, old rich people. And with bad feet apparently. And so we talked more and more, and eventually we negotiated. I would mention them in my video if I liked them for 2 pairs of shoes. And so I'm going to show you, like, these are Skechers. These are something like I would normally wear. And they sent me the shoes. I haven't even taken the tags off yet. I've put them on, tried them on, but I haven't really worn them yet. But I can tell by looking at them, they are way wider. And because of my foot problem and my toenail problem, I think they're probably going to work. I'm going to turn the camera around and show you the shoes. So here's a normal Skechers type tennis shoe. And actually, my foot doctor had told me to quit wearing stuff like that. He said I needed a lace-up shoe to give more support to my foot. And as you can tell, these are the exact same size shoe, lengthwise. But I think you're going to be able to tell when I hold it up here how much wider the Fitville is. And the only thing I'm worried about is this seam here rubbing on my toe, because I don't have a toenail after my accident. So we'll see. I haven't really worn them yet. They come in wide and extra wide. They've got a lot of padding in them. And so I think they're going to work for me. And see, that's the thing in a disaster. Do you really want to have on uncomfortable shoes? We're getting ready to go to Florida. We're taking my dad down to the Tampa area on vacation. Then in February, we're going back for a cruise. And I had really been wanting some cruise shoes. And so I'm calling these my cruise shoes. I hope they work. And they're just so much wider. As you can see, like across here is where they're going to be way wider than something like this. And I think it's probably going to give me the relief and movement I need, but I will follow up in a later video and let you know. But you might check them out. They're not terribly expensive, but they're not cheap either. And I think they're well made. From what I can tell, they look like a really nice tennis shoe. So check them out. Let me know what your experience is. Well, guys, thanks for watching to the end. I really appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button, please. I'm trying to get to 2,000. It's hard for an old person. Or if you're just feeling kind, nice, generous, sweet, give me a like or leave me a comment. Just tell me where you're from. I love hearing where my viewers live. Anyway, have a great week. Find some great bargains. Stay out of trouble, and I'll see you soon.